Bula Nico, Bula Vinaka. Greetings, everybody. Thank you for joining in this afternoon. It's this evening. Bula Bay Maitonga, Bula Vinaka. Aloha from Hawaii. Bula Nico and Maitonga Bay. Would you be able to tell me where you are logging in from? Nakavalevu for joining me today. Bula Vinaka Nico. Rombula Vinaka, thank you for logging in this evening. Appreciate it. Vinaka Valevu for joining in my live. So I will be sharing this live in my YouTube channel. Eh? Oh, melo toka, Vinaka Valevu. So vinaka na sema sarchukani viti kitoba mbulu sarchukani ngoi Hawaii ngoi singa warombuka. So it's Friday evening 7 o'clock. Oh vinaka so tali sala domingo mbulu vinaka nakavalevu. Oi, so Nico is connecting from England. Sandina from England, from Lotoka. So Vinakava Levu, FJ Teta just joined in, D and Mili, Nawamea, Amy as well. So if you can let me know where you're joining in from, that'll be nice. So we've got England and Lotoka joining in today. So just let me know where you're connecting in from, eh? Saratimbao 15, Bula Vinaka, so just joining in. So I've just mentioned to those who joining in earlier, if you can just let me know where you're connecting from. Yeah, where you're connecting from. I think that'll be really nice. So we can all know our orientation. Oh, it's Handina. Grog session in Alberta. Yes, Nakavalevu, Mili Nawame from Australia. Wow. Sandina. So the Alberta gang, we send our hello to your Talanoa. Your Talanoa Yangona. I know it's very tasty right now. I hope it's Yangona from Kandavu. Yeah. So, Nakavalevu for joining in. Yes, so we have England, Fiji, Australia, and Canada. Wow, that's wonderful. It's really nice to utilize the social media platform, to share things about Fiji. I think that's very important. I've been living away from Fiji for 20 years now. 20 years. So we left Fiji after the 2000 coup. So we went to New Zealand and we moved to Australia. We were living in Brisbane for 2 years and then we went back to New Zealand and now we're here in Hawaii. So yeah, it's been a wonderful journey and I think it seems like everywhere I travel, I still have a very deep connection to Fiji and I'm sure all of you feel the same. Yeah. Those of you who live in England, I'm not sure. Maybe write it down as well how you feel about Fiji. And Maitonga Bay from Lotoka. I've traveled around the world for a while. I'll be here in Hawaii for 5 years. And we'll see where we go after that. Eh? Yeah. It's been a blessing. It's wonderful that I can use this platform to reach out to our young ones, our youths. I do my lives on Sundays for the older ones and families. But I hope to use the Instagram live to reach out to our young ones. So I will be speaking in the Kandavu dialect, English. Just joking. Vinaka, oh, quite Kandavu all the way. So must be the Kandavu cover, eh? Yeah, it's very sweet. Vinaka valeu. Yeah, so I was saying in my last live last Friday that I will be speaking in English in my live for Instagram. Just I know that there's a mix of audience in the live. I have I know the part Chinese, the part Europeans, Rotumans, and the Indians who are in the who are listening. So I thought I'll speak a little bit of English and Fijian to cater for all. My sessions on Sundays though are always in Fijian. So I try to speak in Fijian to you know. Oi, oi, vinaka isa, vinaka valeu. My tonga bay, vinaka valeu. Peter guys just joined in. Bula vinaka Peter. Thank you. Vinaka bay my tonga. I hope that the lives are useful and you're finding it informative. I think that's the main aim of why I started the platform. I started it for young ones, so I hope next week I'll do some short lives as well for young ones on topics that they like. I've been getting lots of inquiries about the indigenous Fijian calendar. A lot of the parents wanted to know the waswaswakaviti, the tangini manu manu. So all those kind of topics, which is good for children, I will do it specifically for them. But for the Friday evenings are for a young one. So I know a lot of you are young and young at heart, depending on what definition of young there'll be. But I thought that it'll be a good session to talk about my charts. I know some of you have watched or seen the Odeoyao charts that I've been sharing online. It went shared around a lot during the Fijian Language Week in October. So I will share my screen just so you can see the charts. Yeah. Oh, vinaka. Yeah. Kandavu will be up very soon, so I will let you know. So I'll just share my screen for Sotiao. Yeah. So I hope you have seen this. The Vakambula. Vinaka be my tonga that they are useful. Yeah, I'm so glad. I've got students from England, students from Australia that I'm teaching at the moment. 2 sets of classes in England, children in the Midlands, and also children in Sydney. So yeah, it's been really wonderful to use the social media platform. So remember this one, Odeoyao? So last Friday I talked about the importance of knowing your name. Naedhangu o Tarisi, au ngone ni Natokalau, na nongu koro o Nukunuku, tavuki me Kandavu. Masotiao, au ngone ni Kandavu, na nongu koro o Natokalau, na nongu koro ni vasu o Nukunuku, tavuki me Kandavu, na nongu matenitu o Mburimbasanga. Yeah? So I hope that all of you have tried to answer this. Yeah. So if you haven't, you can go on my page and check out my poster that I put up, and you can fill it up and use it for your own resources, or you can share it with me. I've really been enjoying reading everybody's itukutuku of where you're from. Now today, we're going to cover the second one. Yeah, so the second one here. Na nongo ya sana. Okay, so for me, na nongo ya sana o Kandavu, na nongo tikina o Yawe, na nongo ya vusa o Rauni, na nongo matangali o Naingani, na nongo toka o Narona. Yeah, so that's something that we will talk about today. Yeah, that's our second Talanoa session for our young ones, our youths particularly. And next week, we will go for the third one. The third Odeoyao. Okay, so this is the third one. And maybe I can ask those of you who are connecting in now to see if you can share yours or prepare for next week. Yeah, next Friday. Nanongu idhabuti o nanongu itutu wakavanua na nanongu kau, nanongu manumanu, nanongu ika. Yeah, that's for next week. So I hope you can be able to prepare Yeah, for that one for next week, for our young youths listening in Naka. Yeah. So today we're going to cover Odeo Yao part 2. Yeah. Nanongo ya sana, nanongo tikina. And then when you go into your village, nanomukoro, nikusadhuru nanomuloma nikoro, your village will be classified like this. Yabusa, Matangali, and Tokotoka. Remember that. Nikolako nanomukoro, and avaya na kena itubutuba. And nomukoro na chikondo na nomu Yabusa, and a tiko na nomu Matangali, and a tiko na nomu Tokotoka. Ando na kambimbi ya menda kila, ke wakao dhorobo se ngonela o itauke. Very important that you know this. Wambimbi talanga na nomu yasana, but ke na nomu tikina. And if you have any questions, please, you can post it in the comment section, and I'll be happy to answer it for you. Yeah. I'll change the screen back again. Yeah. So I hope that that will keep us informed for today, for our session. It'll be only half an hour. Yeah. Don't be my tongue. It was posted during the Fijian Language Week, and it was shared all over the world. It was really good that kala me da kabe sona kame bambula taka na nonda kila ka me kuni ngataring memory sa alewa na no mai ni kor me ngai tukuni so sinkela se tukuni ni ko no mo kor ni baso so sinkela. So I think we need to change that mindset and be proud. Be proud of who you are. Na no mo koro na buna da butumiki na no mo tumbu turanga. Where your mom comes from, no mo korni vaso. Mo kila. Na no mo Yabusa, no mo Matangali, no mo Tokotoka. I used to remember many years ago when I was young, growing up in Fiji, I used to go to the Hibiscus Festival. I love going to the Hibiscus Festival, especially going on the merry-go-round and eating all the nice barbecues and the corn from Nanronga, the sweet corn of Nanronga. And I used to remember, hearing the announcements on the stage by the MC for the events on the evening when they say, he said, "Donangwane sayalingo, missing child, sa taring sarongwane, sa andurtu when watabate ni buno chukino MC sa taring sar, adorpo de nadam, sa tangitu, at ko nadam ko chasevata, o como nive, rewanga. We need to change that. We need to change that mentality. The sinkila chasevata. Second madale ya ndoi tu kono wa ni chuko ngai by rewanga. Chuko na nona koro. Koya do taring vango venir no bisa. Kongo ni be. Dormo to the buta do na tin kabana sana. Tin kabana sana ngone ni ba, sengon ni bua. Se ngone talibe no puno o da butu mekin, iyo kongo sa andre de chukumengo mbi mai tong ni torong chasivata ngoni be o ngoni rewanga kwa na buna au na no mekin kla kwanda da vitano chukonda ndendre vaka iya kandina na kango kwa na buna sa tosu kuna ngona au sabina kata no bata bulida na tubungo menda kila na bulanda da butu mekin na nonda koro, na nonda Yabusa, nonda Matangali, nonda Tokotoka, se menda kila mananga na nonda Esana, na nonda Tikina, watake na nonda Matenitu. Iyo, unitaka nioni na talitaka na Tikina ya, se wada ba wekim ni na warong chikumingo. Iyo, klani na rong lasa, isaya, ni tarong ni bango isaya no mukoro ngoni rewanga sanga ndo na lengelio. Sa vartak sarangaya ni sa wakai sa lulunga chukumai na kilaka membalaiti kenda ko yana buna o already ken ngondo na kambimbi menda kila na tukutuku embalaiti kenda iyo menda ritaleni na bimbi ni nonda kila na nonda esana me wakani the kila na ngona Macau when the colonial government was set up in Fiji. The setup at that time, it was different from today. So, Sonoponua tukuni na Dolo East, Dolo West, Dolo North, na kani wase opiti is different from today. And it always changes. And it's okay that it changes. because all these changes are for the benefit of our ancestors. Irarandangasi, merarau na ken vingaravi na matintuba kolon. And I was giving last week an example from where I'm from in Kandavo. The original or the tikina makawa is Nambukeleu. Kwa chikina nongukoro. Na tikina wo oyawe. Right there? So change is okay. And we can't control this kind of changes because at that time in the 1900s, the colonial government was ruling. And they were creating these new divisions so that it's easy for the colonial government to manage the population and also to manage the resources. That's why those changes were happening. Yeah? So nangonon to the kabna live soran to wakara tunru pakambeka na visa weado, but it's water under the bridge. Now we inherit things that our grandparents and our great-great-grandparents went through, and many of those changes was beyond their control. It was through the colonial government at that time to create the provinces, to create the divisions for the Matintu, so it's easier to manage where everybody is located. Because Fiji is not an easy place. It was very diverse, diverse in its language, diverse in the people that were living at that time. So that diversity allowed or maybe pushed the colonial government to have all these groupings, so that it's easy. So first of all, you have to know your Matintu, one of the three, Kumbuna, Burimbasanga, or Tobat. So one of the three. So you have to belong to one of them. So for me, I belong to Burimbasanga because I'm from Kandau. And I hope some of you can also write down on the comment below as to which Matintu you belong to, and which province you come from, because that'll be really good to connect. Because whichever province you're from, it will be determined as well as to which Matintu you belong to. So that's very important to know that, like a top level. So you need to know the Matintu, and now you know your province. So once you know your province, then you know your district. The district is Tikina. So you need to know your Tikina. So I will use mine as an example. So my Matintu is Burimbasanga, my Asana is Kandavo, and my Tikina is Yahweh. So for those of you who are listening in, maybe you can do the same thing. So just write down as well. Bolibinaka Jean, Bolibinaka Eratu. So there's more joining in. Vinaka. I'm so happy that most of you are joining in. Vinaka Vakalevu. Really appreciate it. And I'm glad we're having this Friday Talanoa with our youths. So the Matintu, Yasana, which is the province, and your Tikina. So I'll repeat it one more time. Matintu, Yasana, Tikina. So those are the first three. First three you need to know. Your Matintu, Yasana, Tikina. Your Confederacy, I'll translate it for those of you who are not familiar with the Masavakaviti. Confederacy, province, district. Confederacy, province, district. So these are the top three that you need to know. So Confederacy, Burimbasanga, province, Kandavo, district, Yahweh. That's for me. Vinaka Eiratu. So she belongs to Burimbasanga. Vinaka. So whichever one that you belong to, please share it down below. So that's your first three. Vinaka Niko, Vinaka Vakaleu. See? Burimbasanga, Vatulele, Sandina, La Koroe Kumbu. Naka. That's all wonderful. Thank you, Naka. Wow, I'm so glad we all having this conversation. So maybe for Nico, you can also put in there your province. Do you know your province? Which province does Vatulele belongs to? Can you write it down? So Burimbasanga is your confederacy. Okay, we are both in the same confederacy, but we're in two different provinces. Okay, so I'm in Kandavo, and which one is yours? Write it down. Oh, Vinaka. Oi. El Feresi na Mosi Vivatoloa. Sandina, Vinaka. That's wonderful. Burmasangan, Rewa, and Nukui. Vinaka. Vinaka Kai. Vinaka. Oh, Vinaka Katrina. That's awesome. Oi. Donu Nico. Nakatao. See, Nico wants to jump straight ahead to Ekumbu. You need to go through the province first. Yeah, province. Vinaka Artiki, Nakawati, Kumbuna, Naitasiri, Isa, Undula Sile, Vinaka. We got Namosi, Vivatuloa, Rewa, Naitasiri. That's awesome. Kandavu and Nanronga. Vinaka. Okay? That's wonderful. So remember that. So we will do another revision. Say you need to know your top 3. Yeah, top 3. Yeah, so you remember that? What's the first one? Top 3? What's the top 3 thing you need to know? What's number 1? Yeah, so you've got Murmbasanga here, Kumbuna, Sandina, Vinaka Bakalevu for sharing your information, and I really appreciate it. Don Vinaka Maitonga Bay, right, Confederacy, excellent. So that's the first one you need to know. Which one do you belong to? What's the second one? Naka El Feresi and Bay Maitonga. So the first one is Confederacy. What's the next? What's number 2? Vinaka province. Okay, Vinaka Vale, Vinaka Eratu province. Yeah, Vinaka community reading room. Yes. El Feresi province. Vinaka Eratu. So that's the second one. And what's the third one? Okay, so Confederacy, province, and what's the third one? Vinaka Be Maitonga, El Feresi, Tikina. Absolutely. Yeah, district. Okay, Vinaka Community Reading Room, Vinaka Milnawamea District. Yeah, so that's good. So now we tick the box. That's what I was wanting to share with you today. That's your first 3. Now we're going to go to the second 3. Hey, you ready? Your second 3. So your second 3, when you enter your village, these are the 3 things you need to know. Your Yavusa, which is your tribe. Your Matangali, which is your clan. And number Tolu, your Tokotoka, which is your family unit. You got your next 3? I'll repeat it one more time. You need to know your Yavusa, which is your tribe. You need to know your clan, your Matangali. And the third one, your Tokotoka, your family unit. This is your second 3. Okay, your second 3. You need to know that. So that's very important for you to know. So we're going to talk a little bit about it. What is actually the Yavusa? So from my museum background and anthropology, I get to learn all about this. And it's really wonderful to see the importance of knowing your Yavusa. So the Yavusa, it's like a conglomeration of tribes, of clans, for example. So to me, I look at it, every village looks like a triangle to me. Okay, so we're going to start from the bottom. So the Yawu, from the bottom of the Lomanikoro, is the Tokotoka. So each family belongs to a Tokotoka. Sometimes you can have a set of brothers. Fiji is very patriarchal and very patrilineal. We follow through our father's line. Most of us. But not everywhere. Because remember, some places in Maduata are matrilineal. They follow through their mother's line. So, the family units, you can have one brother, Tatalilai, Tatalevu, 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 Tatalilai. So all of that, the brothers, they form a family unit. Sometimes their fathers are brothers. So they form family units. And then these family units joined up with another family unit. Maybe another grandfather. They are brothers, 3 brothers. And they join up together. So family units join up and they form a matangali. Interesting to see that. That's how our village works. So you got Donabubale, Dotalnabubale, and they join up to form a matangali. And then the matangali joins together with other matangalis. Matangali number 1, matangali number 2, matangali number 3, matangali number 4, depending on the size of the village. Some villages are small, some villages are bigger. So the more bigger the village, the bigger the population, the more matangalis they may have in one koro. And the more tokotoka. But the smaller village, you can just have maybe 2 tokotoka and maybe 2 matangalis or 3 and then 1 big yabusa. Interesting how it works like that. So the tokotoka at the bottom and then the matangali and then this matangali, they form the yabusa. And the yabusa, back in the day, how the words is defined, it's looked upon as a group of people that actually came from one source, one root. Like wu. Wu is like the root of something. So that's where the word yabusa comes from. Yabusa. So we all come from one place, from one source. So this is going back, so many generations. And they migrated, over to where your village is right now. And it's interesting too, if you recording your matangali, your tokotoka, your yabusa, try and find out the meanings or the names of your matangali. They would have a meaning. Names are so important. Last week we were talking about, knowing about your own name. What does it mean? Who are you named after? Did you know that your name is given to you for a purpose? There's a reason? Did you know that there was a discussion that was happening maybe before you were born as to who you're going to be named after? And did you know that the person you named after will continue that relationship on to you and your own children? And the names carry on that legacy. It's amazing. And this is something that we need to be very proud of. Be very proud of your name. And even, some of our Fijian names are very long. Don't be ashamed of it. Don't shorten it. Keep it. Because that name has a meaning and has a purpose. So I know people are different these days. We cannot, enforce how children are named. A lot of parents these days are naming their children after, special people in the Bible. And that's fine. That's fine. That's the choices of people. But the family names usually stay on. Stay on. So some kids today are named Hannah, Turangambevi. I'm just plucking on the names. Hadassah, Samuel. My nephews in Lotoka, they are called Jeremiah and Isaiah. Another nephew is Isaac. So they're all named after Bible characters, which is great. But it's a family name that it's important that, you carry on that name, because they carry on that legacy. So I hope that Talanoa today reminds us of the importance of knowing your yabusa, knowing your matangali, knowing your tokotoka. So I'm going to ask all of you, do you know the name of your yabusa? Do you know the name of your matangali? And do you know the name of your tokotoka? So maybe you can share it with me if you want to today. But if you want to share it with me another time, you're most welcome to. Artiki has a question. Yes, sure, you can ask me. Bula vinaka mbunan rotini. Bula vinaka. Oh, vinaka be my tonga. Yeah, go Artiki. You've got a question? Yeah, I really like this session. I didn't realize it's going to be this fun, that I can be able to have this conversation with amazing people in Fiji, Australia, Canada, and England. Nakavalevu for connecting with me. Oh, nakambuna. So yabusa nasalia Matangali na mua kiwe tokotoka. Oh, so maybe you need to find out, your tokotoka. Oh, don't vinaka Rokoeka. Arctic. My name is Rokoeka. My grade. Wow, that's very special. Yes. I can see that it's Rokoeka. Oh, vinaka Salome Vakarao. Oh, right. Meaning of that. Okay. Oh, vinaka Rokoeka. Yes, vinaka Torika. Oh, vinaka Torika. Bolo tingivi. Oh, isa bolo vinaka. You're connecting from Sydney. Oh, vinaka, I'm so glad you're learning with the girls. Yeah, vinaka Torika. Thank you. I'm so glad I'm connecting through Instagram. Thanks to my children who are teaching me so much about technology. So we can talk a little bit about, our Yabusa and our Tok. So, yeah. And I'm answering some questions here. And Rokoeka. Yes, Rokoeka, which part of Fiji are you from? Which Yasana? Would you mind telling me? If you tell me which Yasana, I might know. Yeah, that's a very old name. I was able to meet a very old lady in Canberra, in Nakeleanga, in 2006, 14 years ago. She was 85. They said she must have passed on now. Her name was Pueka. Eka. Yeah. And if you have the Roko in the front, then that's like a title. Oh, so you're from Kandau? Oh, yeah. Because Roko, it's sort of like an equivalent of Mulo. Yeah, the Roko, it's like Andy, Andy or Ratu. Like in the in Moala, for example, in Lau, they have the titles like Roko, Roko Sau, Roko. What else? Who are the people that I know? So they have special titles in the front with Roko, but yours, the Roko Eka, is connected together because I know Eka, it comes from Hagar. Which is one of the Bible names. Yeah, I'll try and find out more about it. But Roko is actually a royal title. So, there you go. See now, Vinaka. See Mbulo, I knew it. Yeah, see. So Roko, it's a royal title. So you are of royal blood. Wow, that's amazing. See. You have a beautiful name. Bulo Rokoeka Ngarni Valum Bolatiki. That is beautiful. It's a beautiful name. I knew when I hear the word Roko, that alludes to royalty. So Roko has an equivalence to Ratu or Bulo or Andi or Ro. Okay? So this also brings in the importance of titles. And it also is regionalized. Yes, some of the titles are regionalized. Like the Mbulo, for example. Mbulo is very common in the Mburimba Confederacy. Yeah. Reva. So it has a Bible name, a Bible connection. Yeah, wow. I'm so glad we're having this conversation. Vinaka Mbulo, Rokoeka, I'm so happy. Vinaka for asking the question and, we can be able to dissect that. Wow. Vinaka Bimaitonga and Vinaka Bulo Rokoeka. Yeah, because the regionalization of titles, it's so important to know. Like all over Fiji, the girls of high blue blood, noble blood, they get titled like Andi. Andi Patiresio Lalingaboka. Andi Talatoka Lalambalab. So Andi Meratuira Tunambumbua. So when you have the Andi title, you'll know you have royalty. Sometimes usually if you name after your father's line, then the royalty comes through your father's line. If you have the Andi from your mother's line, then that'll signify the royalty through your mother's line. So you need to know where your name come from. See? So you just unpacked Bulo Rokoeka's name today. And I'm so glad that we were heading in the right direction. Yeah. And so coming back to the importance of Andi. So Andi is generic all over Fiji. And then you have Mbulo. The title Mbulo is very common in the Mburumbasanga Confederacy. Yeah, Mburumbasanga Confederacy. And then you have Ro. Ro is very common in Rewa, in the province of Rewa. Yeah, Ro is very, very common in that area. So it's very, very special. So when you hear someone with the name Ro, I had a classmate in Andida Kombao School. Her name was Ro Varensese Longabat. Yeah, so she's of noble birth from the province of Rewa. Yeah, so she's from the village of Romanikor. So there you go. Yeah, so that's another example. So, and then you have Roko. So Roko is very much common in Lau, but in the Moala, Yasiasa Moala area. Okay, so maybe I should write a paper about this and talk about the importance of titles. And then you have Ratu. Ratu is the male equivalent of Andi. Yeah, so Ratu, and also it's important to know that Ro is also for both genders, for male and female. Yeah, so you've got the Ro Misiwata, which is a male, and you have Ro Varanses. So Ro is for both. Below is only for women, and Andi is only for women. And so as Ratu. Ratu is only for men. So it's also gender, specific. So I hope that you found that useful with our Talanoa today. And now we come over to the Matangali. Yeah, so the Matangali. Ngali is a word that comes from things that are connected together. It's intertwined. Yeah, when you look at my hand, you see? Ngali. When something is Ngali, you are connected to like something else. You are connected. So, and that's how you see how the Matangali works within the coral. Yeah? So within the village, so the Yavusa, the Toka, they all connected together like this. Yeah? So the Matangali means that you are Ngali as a unit. Yeah? So you are all Ngali together. So Ngali is to be formed from one singular part and you are attached to something else. Yeah? That's the important meaning of Ngali. Yeah? So Matangali is a clan, which means that you are connected to your Yavusa. Yeah? And your Yavusa connects back to your ancestor, many generations before. So there you go. Yeah, so now we have the summary to conclude our class today. Yeah, so what is your next three that you need to know? Nakamili na wamea, nakamblo Rokoeka. I'm so glad we talked about your name. So what is your next three that you need to know? So what's another one? What's the first one? Now when you enter the village. Yeah, when you enter the village, what's the first thing that you need to know? Okay, so if you know the answer, you can just type it down at the bottom. So when you enter your koro, when you enter your village, there are three things that you need to know. And you need to know the names of these three. Yeah, Vinakambulo, Yavusa. Yes, very important. You need to know your Yavusa. And what's your second one? Okay, Vinaka, Torika, Vinaka, Elferesi, Vinaka, Biamitong, and Katrina, Yavusa, Vinaka. And what's your second one? Selaina, you're jumping straight to the third one. So second one is Matangali, Vinaka Salome. And then we go to Selaina, Toka, Naka. So those are the three that you need to know. So now in summary, back to the first three, you need to know your confederacy, your province, and your district. Vinaka. Gori, Vinaka below. So first your confederacy, Matentu. Esana province. Matanga your Tikina. Those are your three. Here below. So those are three. And then now you enter the village, and then you have your other three, which is your Yavusa, your Matangali, and your Tokotoka. So those are the main key points that I want to share with all of you today, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, you're most welcome to inbox me through my Instagram page, and I will be happy to answer them for you. And I look forward to see you next Friday, when we will be talking about the third part 3 of our chart, which is this one. So last week, in summary, last week we did the first one, Nayadhangu o Tarisi au ngone ni kandavu, na nongu koro o natokalau, na nongu koro ni vasu o nukunuku, na nongu matintu o mburamasanga. Okay? And then that's the first one. So I hope that you will all do your part. Nakatorika, naka be maitonga. And today we covered this. Nanongu ya sana, o kandavu, nanongu tikina o yawe, nanongu ya vusa o rauni, nanongu matangali o naingani, nanongu tokotoka o narona. And then next week we're going to cover this one. For us to learn about the wuti. So make sure, if you're listening in, do your homework and try and get to know the wuti, your tutu wakavanua, your kau, your manumanu, and your ika. And some provinces in Fiji, they also have their ndalo and their uvi. That's amazing. Isn't that amazing? So this is your homework for next week. Your the wuti, your tutu wakavanua, your kau, your manumanu, and your ika. Okay? And if you come from the province of Netasiri or the province of Namosi, some of these tribes up in the Vitilevu area, they have their own boka, ndalo, or their own uvi. So if you know yours, make sure you write it down and share it with me next week. Vinakavale Sara, I'm saying goodbye to all of you. I really appreciate talking to you all. Loloma to England, Canada, Australia, and Fiji. Vinakavale Sara, you take care, and I will see you all next Friday, 7 p.m. Hawaii time. Mwadamanda, thank you so much. You're most welcome, Be My Tonga. I really appreciate it, Inaka. I hope it's useful and you can use it in your day-to-day Talanoa with your family. Naka Valev, Naka Salome, Naka Mili, Naka Katrina and Nico. I hope that the class is useful and you can share it with your cousins. And don't forget to subscribe on my YouTube channel. Naka below. I will check your names. So straight after this, go to Talanoa with Dr. T on YouTube. And if you have Gmail, you get in automatically because you know Google is has bought YouTube. So please join with my crusade to have as many people. I'm targeting by December if I can have 5,000 subscribers. So now we're going like 2,500 now. So we're coming, just getting there. 2,250, sorry. So we're still kind of going a little bit over 2,000. So get your friends to join me. Okay, vinakavalevu, ya mwade.